Hey everybody, so I just wanted to show you something I find kind of cool that I've been doing lately. Um, I play both Modern and Standard, and I'm primarily a blue control player, so I play both Esper, I play both Grixis, and I also like to play kind of Spirit Tribal decks. So I was kind of having the problem of constantly having to unsleeve, swap cards out, put things in folders, deck boxes, cramming it in there, and it just kind of became a pain in the butt. So what I chose to do is I got 3 packs, 300 matte black dragon shields. And I took essentially all the staples and all the cards I use all the time, and I compiled them into a single 300 card deck that I will take to small tournaments, F&M, what have you. From here, I can pretty much just grab whatever cards I feel like I need for the night without having to lug around a lot of stuff, and it gives me a ton of versatility. And also, depending on like which shop I'm going to go to, I know I'm going to have like kind of a different meta, so I can like quickly make changes like for sideboarding and stuff like that. What you can build out of this stack, at least what I choose to build, is I can build Death Shadow, both Grixis or Esper, Esper Spirits, Grixis and Esper Control for Modern, and Esper Control for Standard. And also I can build Grixis Delver. I don't really play Grixis for Standard right now. I'm just not a huge fan of the damage-based removal compared to like the exile effects that you can get out of white. So that's kind of where my head's at on it. But regardless, I do have all the cards, Fire Bluff Canals, and Dynavolt Towers, Harness Lightning. I have all that stuff. I can make it happen. And then also, I'm not really playing Jeskai, so I don't have like Arid Mesas and all those kind of cards that I would necessarily use. Like at least for a mana base, all the rest of it's relevant, but maybe I'll add them in eventually. But for now, it's not too important to me. Okay, so let me just quickly go over what I have here, and hopefully it's enjoyable for you, and hopefully you learn something. So the way I split this up isn't like, okay, it's just a straight up stack of counter spells, a straight up stack of lands. I try to keep it easy for me to like quickly find what I need, so it's in an order that makes sense to me. So this deck I have in my hand here is primarily stuff I'd use for Standard, and I'm playing like kind of like Esper Control for Standard right now, but I kind of change it up. Like I can make the deck go faster or slower depending on like what I expect the meta to be. We just had Cat Combo get banned before. I was playing it like real slow, clunky, like everything like playing at their end step, just for that pretty much that main reason. I never wanted to tap out, and it was successful, but now I'm expecting a lot more aggro coming in the format, and I'm probably gonna have to speed it up, but no problem. We have everything we need to do that. So here, some basic Planeswalkers: Gideon, Sorin, Davin Ban, creatures, Gear Hulks, Kalatas, all your standard stuff. And then we have just counters. So disallow, dispel, negate. See, this is what I'm talking about. A lot of this stuff is going to cross over between decks, so that's kind of why I did this. Dispel, great for Standard, but it's also going to be in the sideboard of almost any blue deck I play in Modern. So super handy. Same thing, negate. Like you always need a copy of negate if you're a blue control player. So all your basic stuff you're going to want to see for Standard. Fragmentize, same thing I'm using for Standard, but it's also great sideboard option for Modern. It gets like Affinity, or it kills enchantments too, so things like Blood Moons and so on. Also, Anguish and Making, another multi-format all-star here, so love it in the Esper Control list in both Standard and Modern. So just kind of basic stuff that I might find myself needing. Mana base, Shambling Vents, and some BFZ lands, Aether Hubs, and some basics. Okay, so nothing too complicated here. Now, if I go to the center stack, where you see Snapcaster, this is primarily the Grixis cards. So we have Snapcaster Mages and Delver of Secrets, V-Click, love that card. Death Shadows. Most everything's going to be in a play set, but there's a few things that I know I'm really going to use more than 2 of, so I pretty much just keep it at that. No sense just storing extra stuff for no reason. So Tassigurs. And like I said, I do have the counter spells like kind of spread out, but I put them next to the other components that I know would be relevant. So like I'm probably never going to use Cryptic Command like if I was going to play like one of the Spirits-based decks, but I'll probably use it if I'm going to play like Grixis Control, so I'll keep it like with the Snapcasters and the other stuff. So here we go, Cryptic Commands, Mana Leaks, Remand, Spell Snare, Spell Pierce, standard counters. And your cantrips, Serum Vision, Thought Scour, the ever so underrated Sleight of Hand, and then just more staples. Thoughtseize. Now this card, I intend to do a full video on. There's much to be said about this card, just the way it's affecting the market, what you can do with it in different decks. It's really, really cool, very underrated, something to keep an eye out. Cool, more staples, lightning bolts, K commands. Is it Staticaster? Terminates. Couple dismember for Eldrazi decks. Damnation. Now this card, I pretty much never use it, but I mean, look at that thing. I'm a huge fan. Looks awesome. So we keep it because it's cool. Boom Bust. Another kind of underrated sideboard card in Modern. I don't see a lot of people using it. They just like default to just go into Fulminator Mages, but like the way this interacts with Snapcaster is pretty cool. So worth, it's worth noting. Okay, so then we have just like some more Grixis stuff, basic mana base, some shock lands, a couple Creeping Tar Pit if we're going to go like full blown control. We need a couple creature lands, a few fast lands, kind of one of each color, and then some extra basics if I need them. All right, so that's pretty much it for that section. Now, if we go to the last section, this is kind of more your Esper stuff for Modern, and this is all the spirits. Now, I'll play spirits in both Standard and Modern alike. I'm a big fan. That's like the kind of tribe that I'm always drawn to. Let me split this up in two. This stack's kind of huge. So, Aether Vials, play Set of Paths, Fatal Push, which you're going to see in every deck listed here. Smuggler's Copter, which I like in the Spirits deck. Lingering Souls, good for Spirits, but also just good for, the standard control lists. And then here's all your Spirits. Don't need to go too into those. Moz Wanderers, Rattle Chains, Selfless Spirit, Quellers, which this I use kind of equally between both formats. Like, I'm never really going to play Standard right now without this. Just that tempo it provides is awesome. Taz one image, Kira, some Draw School Captains. What do we have? Couple Geist. And then once again, we're back to some mana. This is more your Esper pieces. I got, 3 Cavernous Souls, Fledged Strand, Polluted Deltas. Yeah, like I was not about to have like carry around multiple sets of Polluted Delta. If I had like a deck box with Grixis Delver and it had one with like Esper control, it was just a pain in the butt, like having multiple sets of Polluted Delta. Like, no one should have to buy like 3 play sets of this card. It just seems stupid to me. All right, so then we have some more shocks, a couple more fast lands, and some basics. And then lastly, I just have some extra kind of sideboardy cards, depending on I could use for any of these decks, really. Engineered Explosives, some Kataki. So this is like your against artifact stuff. Stony Silence, Circle's Recall, Spirit of the Labyrinth. More staples, Surgical Extractions, Collective Brutality, once again, fantastic in Standard, fantastic in Modern. I'm often going to like just go back and forth with these depending on what I'm doing. 3 Fulminator Mage, and then lastly, a couple Counter Squall. And that is it. I'm really liking this approach. I like the way this is heading now. I have the daunting task of trying to find an ideal storage solution for it. I mean, right now I'm just using your standard, BCW card storage box, and it seems to be okay. But I'm, open to suggestions. So if you guys know anything, I guess I should look maybe like what people are using for small cubes, but that might be overkill or a little too big to be like carrying around or putting in a backpack. So if anyone has any suggestions on that, I'd love to hear them. But yeah, hope you entertained it. Hope you like the approach. Any comments or questions, feel free to reach out, and don't forget to subscribe. Take care.